Hi everybody, we are seeing out your Wednesday content with a little bit of a video about Chronoversary. Talk about some objectives, some champions to use, because there's some really cool ones. There's some things you need to watch out for. It's not like the first weeks. The first weeks was easy to kind of go like, okay, we'll just use like some of these champions because they're ideal, and also the same thing with 2015. Like there was some slightly tricky things there, and stuff where it was like, okay, use Magneto because he does help out the path. With this particular week, it's a little bit more. There's some complexities that you need to be a little bit wary of. Doing the objectives, these two here, Venatio and Control Counter and Party Like It's 2016, both the same thing with last week. You could basically do the quest, 100% it, and you'll do the objectives. And I recommend doing that because you get the Mysterium. Why would you want to miss out on the Mysterium for it? Because Mysterium buys things in the Trader's Outpost, so that's good. Also, all the extra rewards, the reason it's just Mysterium for those that have and keep asking that particular question, it's just the way the quest works. The objectives is where you get the bonus stuff, the decent stuff, and in the quest it is just all about Mysterium for what you get back from it. So over the course of the video, you're going to see some footage of things that I'm explaining, and things that have gone well, and things that haven't gone well. One main thing about this quest is that it is like, well, not a quest, a game. I'm finding inputs just really bad. I mean, the AI is bad as well. It seems like today, like this, something about today just isn't right. And I don't know if it's because the what is it? The Summer of Suffering, Autumn of Agony is back, and then the AI in that isn't particularly great. It is what it is when it comes to the game. I think it comes in peaks and troughs. And also something I do need to reiterate is that even though we have 60 frames per second, and it is good that we've got it, it doesn't disguise the fact that we do have really bad AI in this game, and it's something still Kabam have not addressed. So please address that, especially close to what is your 10th anniversary. Anyway, none of that, all that aside, let's focus in on some of the paths and some of the better options. So first of all, the better options. I've updated the spreadsheet if you want to go and check it out with some options to help out and why. First of all, Falcon. Falcon is a great counter for evade-based champions. There's 3 on the route, only 2 you can counter. The 3 are, well, one of them is Nightcrawler. We'll come on to that in a minute, and how you can take that down relatively well, that champion, because there's a little bit of complexities to that champion. Mordo, I think you can do the Astral Evade with that, and the Ultron fight. Now, I had an Ultron fight. Other people may not get that. Well, I think you get that. I think there's some randomizers here, so you may get here. This fight might be Ultron, but it's always handy to have an evade counter in shape and form of Falcon, because it does, you know, it helps out countering things. Same thing with going up against Mordo. I also really enjoyed using Nightcrawler. I used them occasionally on a few other fights because it was effective. It did the damage. There is persistency with using Venom Pool. Venom Pool has the ability to go from fight to fight with a bit of persistency, but also he's able to action out a lot of damage. I know a lot of people won't want to rank up champions. I didn't, and that's fine. I just can't really warrant the investment of rank up resources. If it is helping you get further through the quest, maybe consider it. But if it's something that's very easy going for yourself to do, then don't with the champions you have. I had 7 stars rank 1, rank 3 6 stars. It was a bit rough at times, but I got through it. Using Venom Pool and using his extent of buff generation, I'm a big fan of doing SP3s with the champion, but getting that when you are able to get the bleed debuff and obviously bleed the opponent, providing they're not bleed immune, you'll see a great amount of damage. Depending on where you want to set up as well. That Clintar mutation helps with granting attack rating, which is nice, but apart from that, anyway. There's other ones I think are more fun to the players. This is why Hyperion's a very kind of like straightforward and easy champion to use. You can parry heavy, and that's what I used, a lot of kind of parry heavy methods on rotation. And I used the rank 3 6-star version. I do have a 7-star rank 1, but I decided to use the Awakened version just because that was really that. You've got the new buff to Black Panther, Civil War. He is great. I had a rank 1 6-star. I decided not to use it. And yeah, that was kind of like, yeah, just good. His, if you've seen the videos, you know how to use him and you know how kind of brilliant he is. But yeah, I got a rank 1 6-star version, and I should rank mine up. Should rank up a lot of champions. That's first world Marvel Contest of Champions related problems. There's a champion that is a bit underrated. Well, you might have him and you might think he's actually rated. Crossbones. One thing that, like last week with the Magneto being, there's lots of hashtag metals, so therefore you can use a champion to counter. The champion of this week to counter is Crossbones. Crossbones, like Hyperion, is one of the most effective on damage because a lot of the champions on the route are heroes, and because they're heroes, they have there's a limit there. And I've got the awakened version, and I'm pretty certain it's well, I suppose you could use the awakened version or non-awakened version for it. But part of his contempt for heroes, and when he gets contempt, there is reduce the opponent's defensive ability accuracy for each fury buff active. Contempt reductions become 25% instead, so that bumps up a little bit. On activation, refresh the duration of all personal fury buffs. Gain 2 new ones, and contempt gains additional fury. Swipe back, go into a block, and you'll be able to get a lot more fury buffs. Lots of fury buffs means very powerful SP2s, and yeah. I should have done a bit more of spend 1 fury buff to pause all remaining fury buffs. I didn't do that. I was more kind of interested with doing SP2 build, big SP2 damage, lots of fury, lots of incinerate damage as a result. So that's that. There's also interesting options with Mordo. Mordo I got as a 7-star, parry heavy, charge to heavy, SP1, degen. Do an SP2 for Soul Barb if I want to counter anything around, say, buffs. If there's buffs on the enemies and there's a lot of buffs on the routes, like just to kind of go back to the Chronoversary, you've got on each path, like on the right side, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes. On the left side, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes up center. 1, 2, 3. One's an incinerate. Well, you wouldn't use Crossbones there. There's a lot of heroes. Predominantly, there's heroes, and I think this is where Crossbone comes into his own. Mordo as well deals with the likes of Venom, deals with Hyperion, anything that gains a buff. Howard the Duck, Civil Warrior. So there's champions that I think Soul Barb will actually work against that. So yeah, there's punishment there from that. The final thing is if you're feeling any kind of chip damage because you're using lower champions, then look at Rogue and Red Hulk. So Rogue with an SP1 will grab buffs back, or grab buffs on the enemy and heal. When it comes to Red Hulk, he'll do an SP2 regeneration. So you got lots of different fun options to help out in taking this down. And my final bit of warning to end off the video is all about Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is very annoying. Having an evade based counter that you've ranked up in order to deal with this, again, further difficulty. For any champion to go against this, and this is why I use Crossbones, I wanted to focus in on getting those fury buffs, but the main focus of that fight is you need to try and wait for the champion to swipe back or evade back and go into a block. Once Nightcrawler's gone into that block, he will go into his swashbuckling mode. If he goes into the swashbuckling mode, that is an open opportunity for you to then go and hit the champion. In his Neophem mode, he will be a little bit more evadey, and that isn't at all great, is it? And actually can lead to yourself being knocked. I lost one champion against this, so it was like I had to get right with Crossbones. There is still that chip damage, which is a bit frustrating, but it is what it is, and I got through it as well. You will as well, because you've got the perseverance and now the know-how in order to take it down. Anyway, that's been it for the video when it comes to options for Chronoversary. I'm going to now focus on some other stuff for tomorrow before I go to bed. So I shall see you. I shall go into Sean Connery. I shall see you in tomorrow's video. Have a great night, Miss Moneypenny. Bye-bye.